This is PANJ Radio News. I'm Rob Bell. And in the headlines this holiday weekend, heartwarming. How else to describe the happy reaction?
Hey, we are, after a little glitch there, in the green room once again. It is Tuesday, 5 o'clock, and all is well. It's been a beautiful day out there. I got my co-host here, Rodney.
Hello, Vinny. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be back.
How was your Christmas?
Christmas was great. I had my mom in town.
Okay.
She lives about 200 miles away, and she's about 85 years old. So,
wow.
Yeah, we had a good time. We went to see the Christmas Carol up in Princeton.
Oh, okay.
They do a really great job up there. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but you should check it out.
Okay. I haven't checked it out yet.
It's very nice. Took a little adjusting, though, because...
Was it busy?
Well, the show was busy, but my mother has a chronic ailment. She's chronically early. It's like we have to be early everywhere. So
God.
It's like, you know, the family, like if I have family crest and there's like a saying underneath, and the family saying is "hurry up and wait."
Right.
So that's what we did. We just couldn't be there early enough. You know, we could leave now. Yeah, we could.
But we didn't have breakfast yet.
Then we'd be waiting for an hour, so I'd rather wait in my living room. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, she
But
deserves a couple of passes.
She is a wonderful woman. I love her dearly.
80 years old, took.
And I'm kind of early myself. I really freak out when I'm not, especially like a business appointment. It's it's just not good if I'm not early. So I'm not one to complain.
So you get it naturally then.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I'm completely the opposite. Absolutely.
I know. I'd be the one here. Man, why isn't Vinny here? It's
wait.
It's like 15 minutes early. Come on, he should be here by now.
Right. But that would only happen if you got here early. You're never here.
Which is
early.
I was here early today.
Yes, you were. 5 minutes in.
That's right.
In the seat. Absolutely. Well, we got Rob on the board today doing some video. You say hi, Rob.
He's doing a great job.
And we got Mark here sitting there, also helping out
He's
on the board.
supervising. Mark is supervising.
He's become our supervisor of video technical
He's doing a great job.
stuff. Yes, he is.
And he's got fine taste, too.
We don't have a camera on you, Mark, but that's okay.
I think he has it planned that way. He knows where all the cameras are.
Yeah.
And miraculously, he's not on them.
Well, today we're gonna. I'm just gonna change the direction here that we're going, and we got our guest tonight is Maryann Castello, who is a board-certified holistic healer or health practitioner, New Jersey State massage therapist, specializes in clinical nutrition and various massage therapies, Swedish massage, shiatsu, reflexology, chair massage, and she's a master in Reiki. That's quite a title there, kid.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we could still keep on going there, too. I'm sure that's not where it ends. That's great. You've accomplished a lot in your young life.
Well, thank you.
So I've always been someone to practice holistic healing in certain ways, and doing it on myself, it doesn't work on me. It seems that it have to get someone else to help you out. But nutrition is important. What kind of nutrition? I mean, there's so many different. Is it?
Well, you're right. Nutrition is very important, and it's one of the things that is very preventative for the body.
Right.
And how I learned that is I made all the mistakes that everybody else did, and 16 years ago, I almost lost my life. And it was to a pharmaceutical medication, and I had such a severe drug allergy that every time they tried to treat it, I became allergic to almost everything.
Wow.
And I can't even take as much as aspirin. So I went to school to help myself, that if I got the flu, like, what would I do?
Right.
Well, I fell in love with the science behind everything.
Right.
16 years ago, it wasn't as mainstream as it is today. And so when I went through all the schooling, many different modalities, and I still go to school to this day, 16 years later, I still want to stay on the frontier of holistic innovations, because every pharmaceutical drug changes. So you have to know. But the one thing that you bring up is clinical nutrition. And nutrition, everybody can do. But we don't, because we're always on the run. We're punching this clock, that clock. Fast food has like really become king, you know. In this.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize, if you plan ahead and you have your refrigerator not fully stocked, but somewhat stocked, you can make your own meal in about 15 minutes.
Well,
it's really easy, and I show people how to do that. And with clinical nutrition, if somebody was to come to my practice, what we do is applied kinesiology. And what that really is muscle testing.
Yeah.
And
that's fascinating, that stuff.
yeah, and it shows everybody is different. So there's not one protocol fits everybody.
Right.
So what we do is we find out if there is any nutritional deficiencies. And I'm one of those that, how many times do you go to a health food store and you purchase all the stuff and it's still sitting in your cabinet a year later going,
Absolutely.
what do I do with it?
Yep.
I tell you, bring it. Let's talk about it. Let's see, you know, what will benefit you, what might not. And try to educate people about, you know, nutrition. The 5 basic food groups, you know, and all that stuff.
Right.
But really, what would help an individual? Because if they have some type of discomfort, some foods can actually heighten that discomfort.
Right.
So we try to educate in that as
Right.
well.
Gluten is a big thing these days. People are saying you shouldn't be eating gluten. It's inflammatory, and this causes a lot of problems. As a matter of fact, this weekend I was at my daughter's for Christmas, and big sign, gluten-free. Don't put your fork in it. I was like, okay, you know, it's only the gluten fork. You know, in the old days, I'm a vegetarian, been a vegetarian for about 40 years. And, you know, it was like, don't put your meat fork in the vegetarian dish. But, you know, I actually had to ask my daughter, what's the difference? I mean, I can understand meat, da-da-da-da. Well, she said, yeah, well, some of the fibers get into the food. And is that true in your book?
It could be. I can't tell you that I'm that exact about things. Unless somebody had a severe allergy. Like, I have some food allergies that I never had as a child. It happened when I had the allergy to the pharmaceutical medication. So, like, if somebody say peanuts is huge nowadays, especially with the children. So that you would have to really be careful of. You can't get that around people.
I don't understand peanuts being such a detriment to kids. And my granddaughter is allergic to peanuts.
And sometimes it's not the peanut itself, but in the shell there's fungus. And sometimes people get allergic to the fungus, not the peanut itself. And then it's like, it's the chicken or the egg, which comes first. You don't know.
Ah, you're shaking your head there.
You know, nutritionally, as far as you know, we're in winter.
You go to Wendy's, right?
The dollar menu.
I like the McDonald's cheeseburger.
There you go.
The 2 cheeseburgers and fries. No pickles.
I love pickles.
But it's
Special sauce.
So it's no, I'm beyond that. So it's winter is coming up, you know. As far as people's diets, do you think we eat too much of some things or not enough of others that's going to help us get through the winter?
Absolutely. Not sure if you're familiar with Ayurvedic medicine, but they use food and the way the seasons change. So if you're in a location where the seasons change like they do here in the Northeast, so the winter is more the root vegetables, where the summer is more your salads and your lighter fare, if you will. So the root vegetables are like your squash, acorn squash, spaghetti squash, things like that. And if you have a problem with gluten, spaghetti squash with tomato sauce, let me tell you, if done right, and I'm Italian, so I'm a hard person to please. You can actually do a gluten-free pasta with spaghetti squash. I don't know if you ever tried it.
I have heard of it. I haven't had it
With
yet.
tomato sauce, did you say? Or
Yeah, you can
okay.
make. We call it gravy in our neck of the woods.
So, are there any specific benefits of these foods, or is it just they're seasonal?
Not that they're seasonal, but digestion, first of all. In my opinion, and all the education I've had, and I've talked to other colleagues, a lot of conditions start in the gut. So if
Right.
you can keep your gut health really healthy, it's really preventative in a lot of things nowadays.
Chinese philosophy.
Yeah,
Everything is in the gut.
it really does. And that's when you were talking about gluten. It creates inflammation, especially within the gut. So some foods do that. Nutritionally based, some have more vitamin C, vitamin D. But again, as we get older, you have to look at how your body digests food. And the way I tell people to find out if a food is right for you, it's really simple. You crave what you cannot digest. You crave what you cannot digest.
A little trick that the Creator put in us.
Well, the reason for that is because,
Discipline.
well, what happens is your body's craving a specific food. You eat it, you satisfy your taste buds for the moment, but your brain did not register because it's not digesting properly. So what does it do? It craves more. And that happens a lot with gluten or yeast things
Yes.
or white bread. And if you ever even watch children, it's almost like a drug, like when you watch them with it. It's same thing with sugar. I mean, sugar creates inflammation. Almost everything's made of sugar, so check your labels.
You know, I on occasion have migraines, and I've read that people with migraines crave chocolate,
Yep.
which if you eat too much will give you a migraine. So
But it's supposed to be good for you, though, chocolate.
Yes,
Dark chocolate.
dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, got to have something that's good for you, that's sweet.
I love dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what you do if you are a migraine sufferer, you should keep a journal of foods that you eat, because usually if you have a food intolerance, it will show up like that within about 20 minutes after you eat it. And that would be also a key to try to judge yourself of what foods that work for you and what don't.
Yeah, there's so many things about diet that I know and I've experienced over my life. And I've seen the results of a good diet, and I've seen the results of a bad diet. And somewhere in the middle, I kind of teeter-totter. It's like I know that, drink a lot of water. It's good for you. Make sure that you keep salt and oil and, butters, but really oils and salt and what was the other? White flour away from you. And you're in good shape, and it's kind of like macrobiotics.
Absolutely.
Did you ever get into microbiotics?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good.
Yes, and especially for people that have chronic immune deficiencies, you
Right.
have to look at the macrobiotic diet. I mean, I have a personal experience with my own mom. I mean, she had lupus for 38 years.
Wow.
And she was always sick. Like, I remembered her always being sick. And finally, we looked at diet, because I was getting into this, and I'm like, Mom, you want to do something about this. So basically got into it, worked alongside with her medical doctor as well.
Right.
And it took 18 months of different enzymes, vitamin deficiencies, foods. And I am happy to say that this June will be 10 years in total remission of lupus.
Fantastic.
She got her
awesome.
life back. So
Right on.
that was another confirmation to me personally that it all starts in the gut.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah. No, it's true.
And
Very
not just
true.
as much food. You have to look at what kind of environment are you eating in? Are you rushed? Are you eating in the car on the run? Are you on a time clock? Oh, you're
Guilty.
guilty of all. But to try to make it as stress-free as you can, people really don't sit down as families anymore and
That's
have
a
that
drag.
dinner.
That's a drag.
It is, but stress will also make you eat more. Emotional
Sure,
eating. How many
sure.
people do that?
Sure.
So you have to find a way to
Fill
calm
a
that.
space.
Absolutely.
Dilute those problems.
Absolutely.
I have a friend who's a personal trainer.
You have a friend.
And when, just a couple. And when she has a client come up to her who's overweight, it's like that's one of the first things she talks about is, it's not just, your abdominal muscles that are the problem. I mean, you have to look at your whole life. It's like, why are you where you are?
Right.
And it's not just the issue might not be, you need to be on the treadmill for 90 minutes a day. You know, maybe there are a lot other things going on. But as you know, what do you see as the most common mistakes as far as diet and nutrition are concerned?
Well, beside the wrong foods and everybody eating on the run.
Well, other than that, as far as the practical stuff, what are some practical things that people can avoid doing, and practical stuff that people can start doing?
Dehydration. Big.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That is a bad thing.
Okay, just to make
because
sure.
it creates inflammation in the body. People who get really stiff joints, especially around this time of year, check your water intake. Because don't forget, too, your brain is also made up of water.
Right.
So that also will create fatigue, headaches, sometimes brain fog. How many times people work in an office and they go to lunch, and about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they get that brain fog and they're looking for that cup of coffee? Well, coffee's great, but it has caffeine in it. Caffeine will actually wear out your adrenals after a while if you're not hydrated.
That's right.
So hydration is a big thing. If you want to add lemon to that, that makes it even better for you, because lemon helps alkaline the body. Even though it's acidic, it will alkalize everything. So that's my first thing. And people who make their New Year's resolutions, because everybody did it, you should see my schedule for the office for the first week of January. I mean, I won't see the light of day.
Of course, yeah.
But
Everybody's been.
Everybody does it. But I got to
Yeah.
tell you, quite a few people start to fall off that wagon by the end of February, beginning of March, because it's too much work. It is a lifestyle change. It is a lifestyle change.
Absolutely. It's a total discipline. Not to cut you short, but I used to do a lot of fasting. I would fast 2 times a year for 10 days, 12 days, whatever, on juices and water. And it was so tough to get into that headspace to do it. You know, it took so long. I might say, 2 months before, I'm going to do this fast, and it would take me that long to get myself in a space where I just said, okay, that's it, and did it, But it is very psychological.
It is, but if you pre-plan something, you can do it. Because don't forget, it takes 21 days to form a habit or break a habit. And if you get on the bandwagon, say what you were doing, fasting or juicing, well, you have to start back at day 1 to make it really work. So by 21 days, if you've been doing it every day, your body now has developed it into a habit. So you can go ahead and incorporate that lifestyle, and you have a choice. It's either you do it or you don't. And I think in my case, there was a big difference between the words I can't and I won't. Because I won't eat that peanut. Now it is, I can't eat that peanut. Very different. So if you change your terminology in your brain.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and
The
watch
little
what you
tricks.
say. There is a lot of tricks to do it, but you have to want to do it. You have to be the change. Somebody can talk to you all day long, but you have to make that change. You do.
Always.
So what are your suggestions for those of us emotional eaters?
Well, first you have to find out what's emotionally bothering you. I mean, you really have to identify that. And that's hard, because sometimes we have buried pain and emotions from childhood, or something will happen where you thought you were over it, and then all of a sudden something triggers something. And you're like, wow, I'm running to the refrigerator. I'm not really hungry. And they go for like that comfort food. Sometimes crunchy food. If you're angry, people like to crunch. Those are those chip people and pretzel people, and all that kind of stuff. But if you have healthy snacks like carrots and celery, and you can make that interesting, by the way. It could be different. But with emotional eating, you really have to tap into what is the problem. And if you don't talk to somebody or even keep a journal, I'm really big into journaling, because and I'm not saying type one on a computer, I'm saying the old-fashioned way, get a pen in hand and write it down, because your subconscious mind.
Much better that way.
Absolutely. And you get answers that way.
So when you're helping folks with their diet and their stress and all that, do you find yourself their unofficial mother confessor? I mean, do you become, the unofficial shrink? Do people unburden themselves on you? Oh yes, I'm eating the half pound of chocolate today because 10 years ago, fill in the blank. I mean, does that happen?
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And not only because I do nutritional consults, but I'm also a licensed massage therapist, and I specialize in medical massage. So it's different than your, shiatsu, and it's different than your Swedish massage. And it's doing some stretching, some deep tissue, sports massage, all incorporated. So people are generally awake for that massage
Okay.
because they're not there for relaxation,
That's
for
a good
medical,
thing.
I can tell you. But that's when you start hearing everything.
Right.
Or if you know that they're having a bad day, tell me what's going on. So I invite a lot of it because I have this thing where I have to help everybody. And some people I just can't, and it bothers me that I can't.
Got to fix it.
You know,
I
really,
know that I got that.
I really find that interesting because I know there's in Yardley there's this franchise store, Captain Chucky's, and they sell crab cakes, and it was new, and it was a couple of years, and I said, have you had any surprises in your business? Has anything come up you didn't anticipate? And he said it was like, you see this counter here? It's like people think I'm a psychologist because I'm behind this counter. So, I mean, I'm thinking, considering what you do, I imagine people really unburden themselves, considering here's this guy selling seafood and people like tell them their live stories.
I got the bartenders get that job
Oh,
too.
man. So,
Well, you get that, but you could also help them work through things or give suggestions that might help them or from your own experience. And that's part of the healing. For short, I call it PEMS, and it's helping somebody in the physical,
Yeah.
emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. And basically, whatever is happening to you emotionally, if you're not getting over it, it will actually manifest its symptoms on your body into something physical. So, for instance, I remember I worked in corporate for years, and they were calling out sick. And they said, "Oh my God, I have such a sore throat. It's so bad." And I said, "Okay, so what are you angry at?" And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I have to ask. These are angry words that you're holding back." And they're like, "Okay." And then I said, "Well, is it the left side of your throat or the right side of your throat?" And they were like, "It's the left side." And I said, I said, "Well, what female figure are you mad at or that you are not saying something to?" And next thing they're like, "You're making me really uncomfortable." I was like, "Well, I just want to get to the bottom of it so you get healed and you can come back to work,
Now, wait a minute. Left side is female, right side is male?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Got
And
it.
so that's how I knew it. And eventually I told her how I knew it. I was like, I'm not sitting here, guessing. I said, I'm just asking. And it was funny because it took her about a week later after she came back to work. And she's like, "You really creeped me out on that call." And I said, but at the end of the day, I said, was it really a problem? And it was a problem with her sister. And I just thought that was really ironic,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you were right on target. And then she said she had a conversation with her. And then slowly after that, she started feeling a little bit better. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely. I've been following that kind of pursuit in a long time. When someone has a problem with their body or whatever, it usually has to do with something in their consciousness that's creating that problem. And do you ever hear of Louise Hayes?
She was one of my teachers.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So we're right in line here.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you ever hear of?
no.
No? Louise Hayes, she was a healer, and she's still alive?
Yes, she is.
She is still
She's
alive.
in her 90s, I believe.
Yeah. She knows her stuff.
You Can Heal Your Life was her
You Can
first
Heal
book
Your Life, yeah. That's the one I read.
by healing your mind.
Uh-huh. And if there was a problem in your body, it was caused, well, she saw it as being caused by your emotions or your mind, and there was ways of healing it.
Well,
and
she
that's
had
what changing
she
your mind.
healed her life. She had
Yes,
cancer.
yes,
she
she
had
did.
cancer.
That's right.
And she didn't want to do the traditional methods. So she dug deep. I mean, she changed her diet. She dealt with all the emotions, and she healed herself. She really did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know someone else who did that. Right, Rob? We know somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, did that. Changed everything. Changed the diet, changed the mind, changed... It's amazing. It really is. It takes a lot of will, though. I mean, you got to go 360, or 180 or whatever it is.
But you know what? If you change just one thing a week in your diet, like say people nowadays I see are addicted to soda.
Uh-huh.
And soda has a lot of sugar in it.
It's always been soda.
It's always been soda. And what happens is, you crave what you cannot digest, so you're going to keep craving this. And if, say, somebody wants to cut down from that soda, okay, so if you have one every day, 7 days, do one every other day. Then the next week, do one every 2 days, and wean yourself off of it. Because if you go to do something cold turkey like that, you're just going to deprive yourself and your mind, because don't forget, the sugar is also helping the emotional content with that.
That's right.
Of your clientele, do you see any particular foods that seem to be the most addictive or people rely on the most?
Oh, absolutely. That would be your coffee or caffeine, the soda especially, and especially diet soda. And I was like, if you're going to drink it,
I think you're right.
I said, stay
Absolutely.
with the regular soda if you're
Yeah.
going to do it, and don't drink this diet soda.
Yeah.
Because the phenylalanine in it alone is very harmful to the body, and very addicting as well. But I see that. I see your fast foods, your junk foods, mostly carb-related things. I think that's where the
Yeah,
comfort
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah,
Everybody wants the carbs.
Carbs.
And it's not that carbs on some people, if you can digest them,
Yeah.
not horrible, but everything goes in moderation.
Absolutely.
There has to be balance. And I think that people just are mostly eating on the run. So that's what I see, where they have that candy bar from that vending machine at work, or the chips and stuff. And again, if you have it in moderation, and don't forget to exercise. And when I say exercise, okay, if you're not going to a gym, so then park at the last spot in the grocery store and walk to, the parking lot, the length of the parking lot, or take the stairs when you get to the work.
Walk up these stairs about 20 times
Yeah.
in the building.
I
here.
did that with 2 bags on my back. I was like, all right then.
You do that a couple of times and you're good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be excruciating pain.
Yeah.
Like people are like, I have to go to the gym and I have to get on that treadmill and be bored out of my mind. You can make exercise interesting. Go out and get one of those giant aerobic balls. You can get them in any department store now, any sporting goods. Have it in your living room. And you know what's really good? If you don't have chairs, say at your dining room table, sit on one of those big balls for a while, because you're actually going to help your joints, your back, your hip, and it'll help with posture. It will help with those stiff joints. Something that simple, and it could be kind of fun, I guess.
Why is that? Because of balance?
There's balance. And some of those balls have like sand in the bottom, so you want those. Or if you want to exercise your arms, that same purchase, that same ball, well, now you can put it over your head and just do circular motions, like arm circles with it and all. And you can get a full workout just from something like that. Something simple. It does not have to be complicated.
How often do you find people with kind of, let's say, food abuse, the emotional eating, the overeating, combined with some kind of substance abuse, people who are also drinking too much alcohol or using drugs? I mean, is that a common issue? Because
it's a very common issue, but where I'm seeing more of it is especially people with ADD and ADHD. They come to me, and some of the diets are like really bad. And like, for one thing, I'm not saying it's totally against it, but parents, they feed their kids. Okay, you got the fast food. But I've had people, and where I see this common link is ketchup, where they have to eat it like by the teaspoons full. Like kids really do it, and it's loaded with sugar. And you don't
Salt,
realize
too.
that, yeah. And once that's in your body, it's hard to digest. And then that starts the obesity, if you will, and then the bullying in school, and then these kids are eating. So I see a lot of that. And especially in adults, I see more of the sedatives, like they're on Xanax, for instance, for emotions. But instead of dealing with it, I feel like sometimes, in my opinion, it's a cover-up of something, saying,
Right.
okay, you might need this to get you over that hump, but let's find out what the real issues are. Let's deal with them so you can wean yourself off this. And instead of that, there's flower essences. Like, have you ever heard of flower essences?
We're going to hear about them in about 4 minutes. We have to go to a break. So hold that note, so to speak. And we'll be right back in the green room.
The smiling faces, the sweet embraces, love and life and
Hey, I'm Deirdre Anderson with Delish Catering,
And I'm Laura Mangone from Chambers Walk Cafe and Catering.
and we'd like you to join us on Food for Thought, where what do we talk about, Laura? We talk about restaurants, we talk about
Pet
recipes,
peeves,
pet
food.
peeves, bitchy hostesses,
All sorts of food-related items.
all sorts of
Tune
food
in.
stuff, and sometimes not so much food stuff. We go off on segues, but we have a lot of fun, don't we?
Absolutely.
So join us on Food for Thought.
PANJradio.com, 1 o'clock weekdays.
Your business only gets one chance to make a first impression. That's why Green Birdie Productions offers free re-edits on every high-definition video we create. Our Emmy Award-winning staff and green screen special effects studio guarantee the quality we strive for. It's no wonder most of our business comes from referrals. Green Birdie Productions. Compelling video, competitive price.
And the sun goes down upon this river town.
Hi, this is Judith Maryann with PANJ Radio. I'd like to invite you to listen to my new show, Musical Notes, where I will be interviewing different musicians at 8 p.m. every night. Tuesday nights I will have a new musician, and then it will air the rest of the week. We'll be finding out what these musicians are all about and listening to some of their music. So tune in. It's going to be a great show on panjradio.com.
Hey, this is Pat Foran and
Zach Romano
here at panjradio.com. When I have time, I'm hanging out here at the studio
with the Shack Radio Boys.
Sit in a comfortable chair or lay on a bed. Face the palm of your hands up to the ceiling. Inhale through your nose slowly. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth slowly. 2, 3, 4. Focus on the base of your spine. Imagine a red glow and feel the warmth and vibration taking place. Know you are safe and nurtured. You are valued. Peace and security should be enveloping your whole body. Feel the earth supporting your feet, legs, and hips. Be fully aware of all your boundaries. You are now open to safe and nurturing affection. Celebrate these feelings. Continue to relax and sense the feelings in the foundation of your body, your pelvic cavity. Go deeper into relaxation and become aware of your sensations in your root chakra. Allow the energy to build. It is growing like a magnetic force. There is now a gravitational pull on your body. Feel the vibrations. Start to squeeze your abdominal muscles. Feel them contract. Now release your abdominal muscles. Feel them expand. Squeeze again and release. Squeeze again and release. Feel the warmth cultivating around your root chakra. Squeeze again and release. Continue to squeeze and release. Feel the pulsations. This is your affirmation. I feel safe right here at this present time. Watch the red glow slowly dissipate. Your root chakra is completely open. Come back into your body, feeling alive and radiant.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So be it.
So who was that?
By the way, we're in the green room. I don't think it's the green room anymore. Might be the red. But that was beautiful.
Thank you. That is one of the tracks off the new DVD.
Uh-huh.
It's Extreme Chakra Cleansing for a Supercharged Life. And this is a meditation DVD. And the way it was created was there was musical compositions done by Rich Chalanda, and they're based on vibrations, and he can tell you all the technical stuff
Very
that went
nice.
into this.
Very nice, yeah.
And there are ancient modes that are used. But also, a lot of people tell me in my practice, well, I don't know how to meditate. I can't even shut my eyes for 5 minutes. Never once on this DVD will you hear me say, close your eyes. Because on the DVD,
It just pulls you in.
well, there are graphics on those DVDs that are color therapy for each chakra. And Jay Petsko, he was the graphic designer, and it also matches the beats of the music.
That's incredible.
And it really helps you focus. And even if you did one chakra for 5 minutes a day, or go through and it takes you about 45 minutes to do all of them, some of them, as you saw this one, it's almost like a dance track. And they change depending on what chakra we're doing. So it was a wonderful project, and Dr. Otto Jorgensen was the executive producer, and it was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun.
So for the benefit of the audience, what's a chakra?
A chakra is an energy center, and you have 7 of them in Reiki. So I could go on all day, so I'm going to make this
Could you
very
use
quick.
this? I guess you could incorporate it with Reiki as you're doing it.
Absolutely. And also, even in yoga classes, things like that, it definitely can be incorporated. And a chakra is a healing center. And so you have, think of it as 7 spinning wheels going up the entire body. And sometimes when you have somebody even laying down, you watch the way they breathe. And a lot of people tend to chest breathe. And why? Because the energy up here is not going to the abdomen. And when you take a deep breath, it should go from the abdomen up. And when that doesn't happen, you can work on these chakras, open them up, do energy work on them. And we all have our own magnetic fields that if you don't know how that is, you can sit there and hold your hands, concentrate on them getting warm, and start pulling back. It feels like a rubber band. Well, that's what you're tapping into, that energy. And all of a sudden, you'll see people yawn, or they'll be like, okay, I don't know what that is. And then all of a sudden, you watch the breathing, and once it opens up, it goes from the abdomen all the way to the top.
So what brought you to the road where you started learning about this?
Because I was under so much stress. I worked corporate jobs. I was also a professional singer, so I had my own business, so I was doing that 4 nights a week, and then getting up for that corporate job the next day, burn the candles at both ends.
So what was your corporate job? Was it a good corporate job?
It was a great corporate job, but I always landed up in sales. So I was always like the most stressful
Yeah.
job it could be. But
Been there, done that.
you would understand.
Yeah.
This is
So,
Maryann Castello, by the way.
and so I'm really excited about this project, but it was because of my clients
Mm-hmm.
and everything, getting back to what you said, like, how do I calm myself down? How do I do this? I listened to them over the years, and that's what gave me the inspiration to do something like this. And then it was a collaborative effort with Rich, Shalanda, and Jay Petsko, and Otto Jorgensen, and all. And it was just really a fantastic experience. And a lot of the scripts themselves, I wrote myself and was able to perform them on the tracks. And they're orchestrated. So it's not like fluted music that you hear in a lot of meditations in the background. They were actually orchestrated.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah.
Rich was a wonderful orchestrator. 'cause
It's a
timing was
great
not my thing.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Thank you. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, the whole thing makes you go within.
So when you were putting this together, were you like looking at other CDs and DVDs? It's like, I don't like that. Oh, this is good. Nah, I don't like that.
I've tried them.
Yeah.
I really have tried them. And what I did is what I tried to explain to a lot of my clients. And they're like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And then there's times of like, I can't do this either. So it's like, how am I going to make it different? So some of them were written from personal experience. Some people learn through affirmations. Some people learn through exercise. So each one was done, and I actually researched every single chakra point from colors, provided that how can we all work together to get the entire experience. And what happens is, even though you have the DVD, after a while, you're going to learn how to meditate, and then eventually your eyes will shut, and it's going through and explaining what each chakra is, so then that way you know what you're working with, and finding out what works best for you. So it's incorporating how to relax, meditate, because when you could quiet the mind, even for 5 minutes a day.
3 seconds.
Exactly. That's all you really need. But I'm trying to say 5 minutes, because I don't think people even have 3 seconds of focus nowadays.
No.
So I'm really excited about this project. It was fantastic.
So in your experience, how long does, if there is such a thing as an average client, get from the status of kind of freaked out, stressed out person who walks in the door into someone who can really do this well and really relax? I mean,
Takes practice.
Well, what are we talking about? How much time? Generally speaking, though, obviously everybody's different.
Right. Well, the first thing is, when somebody walks through the door, they have to learn how to trust themselves and me, and to be able to work. The level of trust has to be there, that you're not going to do any harm to anybody, and that is not my intention anyway. Then once you establish that trust, then it's commitment. Because I like to work with people that are committed to change, because to have somebody still come in, to me, it's like, I'm not doing it just for the financial reward. I don't need you to come here. I'd rather help somebody that wants to be helped. And I love to see people and talk to them and find out what their aha moment is. Because you'll find out a lot of times, it's not what they're saying, it's what they're not saying. That's the problem.
If you want to talk to Maryann, it's 609-460-4673.
And if you want to say something,
I'm sorry.
Or not say
It was just
something.
a perfect segue. You say you gotta
call up
talk
and
to
don't
someone.
say anything. We'll figure out what's going on.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Talk to him.
Laughter rejuvenates the liver.
The liver, that's a big one.
It is a big one.
A lot of drinking this holiday season.
Absolutely.
Generally speaking, it's certainly, there's a lot more business for, people in the therapy world because of the holidays, and we're closed up on like family members we haven't seen in a long time, or family members that maybe we don't particularly like or particularly get along with. It's there's a lot of stressed out people, especially this time of year.
There is. And one thing that I love that I was just invited to do, because Danny Coleman is part of this radio station with Rock on Radio.
Yes, he
and
is.
we are doing a show, Health and Wellness, on City of Angels, recovery radio, for that purpose, to try to help bring some enlightenment to the subject. It is a heavy subject, but also to have some fun and, kind of let loose, have some fun while we're talking about something serious. And
It's cool.
yeah, in our first show, we actually had Rich Land on as a special guest, and he did his his own songs from his current CD, Flying Dreams, but also was able to help. Lord Send Me an Angel was another one of his songs that he went on there and did live. And it's kind of, a variety hour, if you will,
Right,
but also talking about these subjects, because you're right, the holidays bring out the good and the bad. That I've seen.
Plus, you got all that unhealthy food all over the place.
Well, if you do it for one day, a holiday is one day. It's the leftovers and saying, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. You know what? It's one day. You can do whatever you want for the one day. And then after that.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
That's what I do. The one day, but you get the leftovers, so it might turn out
Yeah,
2 days.
kinda
I remember.
So you have to give
Especially
away
if you're
all.
Italian, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to eat it till you learn to like it. Of course.
You have to learn to give away the leftovers. Oh, why don't you take some of this?
Oh, that's what they always try to do. Whoever's house you're over.
That's right.
I got so
That's
much.
what I
take
try to
this,
do.
Take that. No, I don't want to take it. Yeah, so many desserts.
I don't need 5 pounds of this here.
Yes,
Take
you
some
do.
of it.
Give it to your family.
Yeah.
Give it to your pets. I don't care what you do with it. Just get it out of here.
You can't take that food and bring it down to a health kitchen or something like that. They won't accept it.
No,
Really?
it's they're afraid it might make somebody sick.
Right.
Rightly or wrongly, but
yeah.
it is an issue
But
because
it's so crazy. There's all this food that's wasted.
It really is.
But needless not go down the hill here. Let's talk a little bit about the road to success. Well, that sounds interesting. How does this connect?
Well, the Road to Success Volume 2 is a step-by-step system of how to help yourself achieve health, wealth, and lifestyle changes. So I had the honor of co-authoring with Jack Canfield, and Jack Canfield was the originator of the Chicken for the Soup books that you would see. And it was an honor to work with him, and I was very excited. I was able to go to Hollywood, and I won a Quilly Award.
Yeah, right there.
For the contributions in the book.
Picture of those, huh? Yeah, we got them there.
Right, and then the silver one is the XB Award, which was for Talk Live Nation and for my radio show, also Neo Zoe New Life, where we try to incorporate different types of modalities of holistic and explain them.
Neo Zoe, you want to explain that, please?
Yeah, Neo Zoe is actually from a biblical term from a Greek Bible that somebody had said to me, and they were, people of faith and all, and they were having an argument, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, well, it's Neo Zoe. And I'm like, Neo Zoe, what is that? And they're like, it means new life. And it's funny because I was trying to maybe call my business New Life, but it was taken. And Neo Zoe meant new life. And so it's new life through balanced living. And it just stuck, and I really liked it. So I use it.
It's a nice term.
Thank you.
Nice.
Everyone deserves a new life, and you can make yourself a new life anytime you want to change.
So what was in Volume 1?
I don't know.
I thought you said it was Volume 2.
This is Volume 2. I was not in Volume 1. I was in Volume 2.
Oh,
because they saved the best for last.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm just
I hear that.
So do you build on Volume 1, or is it just this is your thing?
No, each road to success, there's a lot of different contributors. So
Okay.
it's a lot of different fields, a lot of different backgrounds. And I was just grateful to be accepted into that. And my chapter is Believe in Yourself, because that's where it all starts. All change, anything you want to do, you have to believe in yourself.
Comes down to you.
And why do you think so many of us don't believe in ourselves?
Because
Too distracted.
that, or you doubt yourself, or I'm not good enough. Or how many times has this been put in your head as a childhood on a playground, for crying out loud? Oh, you're no good. We don't want to hang out with you. We don't want that. It starts there. Or you have family members who say, oh, this is what I would have done. Why did you do it this way? And then you're encouraged to think not within yourself. You're encouraged to think how society wants you to think.
This is like a rebirth. I mean, when you think about it, it's coming away. You've come away from this incredible place, and now you've got to come back, and you've got to take off the baggage as you go up the hill to make it lighter. And we have a lot of baggage, like you said, all of these things that we have said about each other, and it's kind of just learning to go back to that place where there's peace. I mean, in any kind of meditation and in what this was, it just puts me in that place, puts me within myself to feel that energy, that truth, myself, who I am. And that's very important. People don't know who they are. Mm-hmm. And that's what causes the stress. That's what causes, because people would say to me, oh, you're vegetarian, you're this, you're that. Or they'll come down on me for something, and I'll just say, doesn't matter. I know who I am.
Right.
You don't have to tell me who I am, because I know who I am.
You have to please yourself, not everybody else.
You just got to be with yourself.
Right.
And that's a good thing, because when you are yourself, it really makes people feel better.
Well, it is. And if they're uncomfortable being around you, that's their issue, not yours.
Right.
And we make it about us because you want to make people comfortable. Or it's like one of those things where I tell people, if you go to a party, do you ever just walk into a room and there's a group of people and you just somehow feel natural that even if you never met them before, you go up there, you have conversations. Or you might walk up to this other group and be like, okay, I want to get out of here. That's because we all beat at a vibrational beat. And it's there. And really, birds of a feather, it's really true.
Oh, absolutely.
They do flock together.
And they should.
And that's what does that. And if you're around like-minded individuals of yourself, you'll feel comfortable around those people. You'll always want to be around them. And then the people that, there's a lot of people in the world that I see jealousy. That's what I hear a lot from my clients, or my family member's jealous of this, or they're in school or in college. It doesn't matter. There's always a lot of jealousy, and they're worried, or guilt. Guilt is another big one that I hear.
Oh, yeah.
And guilt is, to me, in my opinion, as I went through my own process, is man-made in your head. You make yourself feel guilty. So if you always conduct yourself in the way you would want to be treated, you wouldn't have to worry about it, and you shouldn't let other people's emotions become yours.
I think the other issue can be other people trying to inflict guilt upon you.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, you did this, that was a bad thing.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
The Italian mother, my mother, or Jewish mother.
It's not just springs up inside of you. Sometimes it can be kind of pushed onto you that you did something wrong, or you should have done this, or you should have done
You're a sinner, man.
You're a sinner.
You grow up in this society,
You're
and you're
such
a sinner.
Disappointment. We really wanted you to be an orthopedist. Why couldn't you go to law school or med school or fill in the blank? So it's.
But
unfortunately, there are people out there who actually do that to their kids or grandkids or whoever.
Well, you're instilled with rules, and the way you're brought up is the way your parents were brought up and the way they were brought up, and they're trying to do the best they can. And like with children, you want to empower them. I don't think spoil them, but empower them to make their own decisions. So what I've told parents, they're like, I'll tell my kids, do this, do this, do this. I said, you can do that. And it's more like an order, and it's respect, and they should follow. But one woman was having a hard time getting her child to sleep. I said, you want to empower them? I said, what time is their bedtime? She says 8 o'clock. I said, good. At 7:55, you turn around and say, would you like to go to bed now, or would you like to go to bed in 5 minutes? And she said it worked like a charm. Yet they were still in bed at 8 o'clock.
Well, it's a good philosophy. It's a good way to do it. Let them make the decision, and they don't think that they're being put upon.
Exactly. And it learns to empower them that they can make their own decisions from an early age. And just to your point, when you're being told you're a disappointment or you're not good enough, it's kind of, as a child, it's very impressionable. So it's one of those things where saying, I don't like the way that you act, or I don't like you in that moment. It should be more like saying, listen, I love you, but I don't like what you did for this, this, and that.
Absolutely.
And it's the way that you talk to people, even at an early impressionable age, even to now. But it's up to you how you want to respond, because the one thing you can control is yourself.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, in my household with my kids, we really did encourage them to be themselves. We didn't bring them up with any particular religion. Just love, just know love, just be one with that, and trust it.
Excellent.
And hate was not a word. Hate was the 4-letter word, that wasn't allowed in the house.
Good.
And it was really cool because my kids are incredible, if I say so myself. They are such great human beings, each one of them.
I think a lot of parents are just afraid to see their kids fail. So
Fail,
they're
but
very-
what is fail? This is the
so
problem.
How
can
that's
you fail?
that's how they see it. They
I know.
see it as failing.
I know, but how?
It's like, you didn't get a high enough score on the SAT, or, why did you get a C in this class, And it's one thing that I've learned is, with my daughter, is just do the best you can.
Absolutely.
I mean, I really try not to put any yardsticks or anything for her to climb over. It's just do the best you can, and good stuff is going to happen, and but
That's absolutely true.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's but that's how I think part of it is maybe they're afraid that their kids are going to feel pain when they fail, quote unquote, of doing something.
Well-
you don't want your kids to feel bad. So if they don't fail, then they won't feel bad.
Absolutely.
I guess that's
right.
one way to look at it.
That's right. Well, we can't fail to leave right now because the time is up. But why don't you give us some information before we go?
Sure. Extreme Chakra Cleansing for Supercharged Life and the Road to Success Volume 2 can be purchased right off our website, which is www.neozoe, that's NEOSZOE.com, or they can call us at 732-713-0123. They make the perfect gifts, and in January coming up, invest in yourself. Every penny is worth it.
It sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Got to spread the word, which is within each one of us. So thank you so much,
Well, thank you for
Maryann,
having me.
coming. Rodney, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Vinny.
All right. Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Rob, wherever
so,
you are.
We're going to have to end this if I can do this correctly.
You can do it, Vinny.
Once again.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Anything you put your mind to.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing's impossible unless you make it.
You're a powerful
keep-
man, Vinny.
I keep telling Rob that. But
You got this.
You have the power.
Okay.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Now you can hear it. Ha! Bye, everybody. See you next week. We're on all week with Maryann at 5 o'clock. And we also have a 10 o'clock spot. Check us out. In the green room. Peace to you.
Sweet embraces.